Welcome to this episode of Those Who Serve. I'm Council Lady Paula Stinnett, and joining me today is a most remarkable gentleman, father of 6 children, veteran of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, Mr. Joseph Heflin. Mr. Heflin, thank you for joining me today. I've enjoyed our conversation already, and I'm so excited to share with our audience all of your accomplishments. 6 children. Would you attribute that to be one of your greatest accomplishments?
I'd have to say so.
And the stories you've shared, I can tell that you're a wonderful father and you really, really love the kids. And you tell me they keep you young.
Oh, yes. Well, living with my Catherine, the youngest, of course, now I bought them a home when they married. She's 30 years old, married to Austin Miller. They both went to school at Ridgeland over the way there, and they got married. I bought them a home as a wedding gift. I took the bottom part because we get along great, her husband and I. And speaking of my kids, the 6 children, I did want to talk about their education.
Please.
All 6. Out of the 6, I have 3 with PhDs, a doctor, and he also has an MBA. He has a hospital in Reno. And a daughter that's on the board of the cancer clinic in Houston, Texas, Anderson Cancer Clinic. She has her PhDs from Notre Dame. And then I have a lawyer daughter in Oklahoma City that's PhD. Then 2 with masters and 1 teacher, 1 registered nurse. Sure, I'm happy with them. I have the grandchildren there. The boys, there's 2 boys, 8 and 6. They're both born on the 11th, Veterans Day, 11th of November. And a little girl, oh gosh, she takes me out of this world. She's 4 years old. And it's great. I love them very much.
What a blessing, what a blessing. Now, always. Now, you yourself, you were born in 1924. You'll be 91 in February.
Yeah, they'd accused my mama. I was born in a little town called Red Lock, Alabama. Mm-hmm. They accused my mom and daddy living out of wedlock. They didn't. We lived right in the city limits. I just thought I'd throw that in, honey.
Well, I'm proud you.
Let's have fun with it if I'm going to be here.
That's right. Have fun with it. Now, at the age of 18, you decided to enlist in the Army.
I wanted to kill a Jap or a Kraut. You'll hear that back then, because we didn't even know really what war was. Good God, I'm glad we didn't. But yeah, at 18, I went in. Joined up and went in. Walked from, started at the Patton Hotel, walked from the Patton Hotel all the way to Fort Oglethorpe. Got out there and all I could see is they had horses, and the soldiers running around then had the flap on the boots and the crazy looking hat, but I just was frightened mostly, you know, but they swore us in there, and then they sent us down into different parts, sent me to Camp Shelby, Mississippi, and from there up to Fort Knox, where I had training in tanks, etc.
Training in tanks, and you took your military career very seriously.
Oh, yes.
In World War II, you were trained in tanks.
Trained in tanks.
Began your training here at the Polo Field in Fort Oglethorpe. And where did World War II, where did that take you? What did you experience and learn?
Experience and learned. I have combat, but I was G2, and I don't discuss the G2 part. And got through it some way, and came home and decided to go to college.
Okay. Now, G2 is military intelligence.
Military intelligence, yes. I don't like to discuss anything about that.
Certainly.
I'd appreciate not doing it.
No, sir. We won't discuss that. And you decided to go to college. You
at the University of Chattanooga. First I joined the reserves when I came out, so that gave me that time, you know, in the Army, like. But I decided to go to college after, believe this, people back then will know what I'm talking about. They gave us $20 a month $20 a week for 52 weeks. So I didn't really get in a rush to do anything. Spending my $20, that'd go a long ways back in '46. But I decided to go to college, and on the GI Bill, and they started. I started in 1948, and they started the ROTC program in 1950 at the university. I was in the first class up there. It was 19. All of them but one was a veteran, and we came out as second lieutenants, and I had a quick trip into Korea. Didn't stay but about a few months, then back into the States.
Okay, at UTC, which by the way is my alma mater as well, you received a degree in
Psychology, yes.
Psychology, most impressive. So I'm being really careful when I'm talking to you. I'm afraid you're analyzing me.
Well, I never did use it. I don't know. I mean, I guess I do really now, but in military, it was strictly soldier, but you had a chance to maybe just met the most beautiful, honest to God, the Army, you met everybody from everywhere. You meet the people like from West Virginia, say it's about time to get over the house, talking. And then you had the Yankees, of course, and then the good old Southern boy, is that you? Said, how long you been in here? Just like, well, a whole lot. Well, where about you from at? I'm down there summers. Oh, I've heard of that. I'm not trying to be a comedian, but I'm trying to say we've had every type of talk. I guess the best soldiers to me, though, came out of the Middle West, I thought. But of course, I'd have to be faithful to my South summer. But I don't know. Some I love to remember, some I love to forget. But overall, I'm proud I served.
Thank you, sir, and I'm proud as well. Thank you for your service. Korea, then Germany. You lived in different places throughout the world.
Oh, God. I had altogether 7 years in Germany. It gave me the opportunity to travel. And in 1954, my daughter April, 60 years old now, was born in a München hospital. They call it, Munich, München. A little sign. In München steht ein Hofbräuhaus, 1, 2, super. Ich trinke so viel, ich kann nicht mehr. 1, 2, super. I drink so much, I cannot more. 1, 2, hey. And Lily Marlene, all those kind of things. But I had the opportunity in those 2 tours to travel. We had to give it 30 days. We'd have a 30 days leave in the Army. And we went different places, especially the last trip. It was from 62, 65, okay? And the children were larger then, I think about 7, I don't know, 10, 5, whatever. The 3 children, born 18 months apart. Anyway, they could ski, they could do everything. They just loved it, And when I'd travel, I'd take them, my wife and the children, of course, and we'd go to, over there, you travel overnight, you're in a different country. You know what I mean? You come down from Germany into Austria, then on down to Italy, turn around and go this way down into Spain, and we'd always take pictures. So we have pictures of kids at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We have them at, now, like I said, have you ever been to Barcelona?
I have been to Barcelona. Spain is a beautiful country.
Oh gosh, let me tell you, off that coast there, Deborah, my daughter, we went swimming out there. The wind was blowing and the sun was, we came in burned to death. Honest, that's all I always remember that place. But you just about name it, I've been there. I took advantage of that to travel. I'd take my kids with me, and they loved it. They loved it.
Oh, I'm certain.
There was no war then. We got the war bit when I came back and had to go to Nam. But enjoyed that's something the Army gave me. See, it's great. It's not all war. When it's not war, enjoy it. You've got the opportunity. The furthest I'd ever been was Cleveland, Tennessee, and Bridgeport, Georgia, till I went in the Army. Now I've been all over the world. I talk to different guys. I have a friend down at the Crystal, Reg, and he was in Korea. I said, Reggie, you ever been where? I've been in Korea. I said, where'd you go before you got there? Oh, I went here and went there and went this place, that place. Man, I done been everywhere when you get into it that way, you know. Just say, well, let's just stop it then. The Korea's that, but look at all this other place you've been. Had to go to California, all that. And I tell a soldier that, talk about not so much that you got shot at, you got hurt, you got hit. Of course, we all got something. But look at the places you have been, you wouldn't have had that opportunity before.
Wow.
Isn't that sizing it up? God, I'll never take it. I'd do it all over again. The places I've been, so I messed up a little in my head, this, that, and the other, but gosh, where I've been. Great.
And then Vietnam.
And try to forget. Vietnam, yeah. I was a special weapons officer in Vietnam, the computation of nuclear effects. I could compute anything about the effects of a bomb. Could do it just like that. And now, my 4-year-old girl's got one of those little things that little iPod, I don't know what it is. I can't do a thing with it. I do know if I went in the store, if they charge me too much, I know that, but that math is all gone, all gone. And I was brilliant in math, but we get to the point. Prior to going to Nam, I was at Walter Reed Hospital, where they did an operation on my head. There's a disease called trigeminal neuralgia. It's like, he explained to me, like the coating come off an electrical wire, it'd be bare. And like something comes off the nerve and it hits, and when it hits, it goes, whew. Now people out there in the audience, it's had this to hurt if they know what I'm talking about. It'll drive you up against the wall, you just, ooh, you know, because a puff of air could send it off. So, went to Nam after this operation, and the operation was in '66. I went to Nam in '67. I was an observer in artillery, and also S4, artillery supply, et cetera. But my big job was flying over, you know, checking each one. Over there, you have your outfits on different locations around, and we landed real hard one time, bam. And my head, the little H-13, that's the small chopper. See, first cab is all air mobile. And hit my head on, and I came out and it hit in the side of my face. And I thought, oh God, you know, grabbing, holding. They right away sent me to the Clark Air Force Base into Japan, where I stayed for about 6 months, then came back stateside, and they sent me to a naval hospital, Millington, Georgia, down there. Millington, Florida, Georgia, I can't even think where, but Millington's the name of the place. And a Air Force neurosurgeon did another head and whole operation on me. I don't like to talk about it, gets me all messed up, but it's, maybe it hits every once in a while, but not bad. But you live with, I taste in the right side of my mouth. This whole side of my face and head is just.
Well, I know one person who was extremely glad that you came home, your sister, and how did she show that she was proud to see you home? Wow. Wow.
I think there was about 4.5 carrots in that book.
It's
but
beautiful.
she had the money. She had the money. Bless her heart. She died a few years ago, quite a few. It's just been something for me to live to be 90 years old. And God, I feel great.
Well, and after your military career, you had another career that you enjoyed quite a bit.
Oh God. It started in 1970. I'd been out of the Army 1 month, and I had a friend named George Correll that's in the picture business. He was doing babies, picture babies. And I said, hey man, we started hanging around at these American Legions, these different places, you know, and I said, man, that'd be nice. I said, you ever think about doing pictures of women? He said, yeah, I've thought about it. I said, neither one of us married, you know, I'd been divorced. I said, listen, let's start doing them in beauty shops, you know. We started in 1970. And I shot pictures and photographed women till 2004, 34 years. So if there's some women, if there's somebody watching this, they probably have their picture made by me and one of the, I've shot in beauty shops right here in this town, in this city. And I loved it up on the mountains, you know, doing the pictures. And they'd say, is that really me? Because they used an airbrush artist, you know, to maybe put a tooth there and take a wrinkle out, et cetera, and they, whoo, Lord, God, that's, I'll take them. I'd go back with an 11 or 14 and 4 by 10, some wallets, you know, to give to the people, and I only charged $125 for it. That now, to start out though, I didn't do glamour till the last 16 or 17 years I was in the business. Before that, I went back with just 11 or 42 and 2 5 by 7s and wallets. The way I'd get the shops, Miller's had a beauty supply, and they'd have these meetings of all the beauticians come and get to learn the latest hairstyles. Now we're talking back in the when I'm saying in the 70, 80, 90 up. And it used to be where they'd just come in for a shampoo set. Some of the more modern things happened, and I found my best money was made was just small shops out on the mountain or rural places. And they'd never seen anything like that. And it's something that I loved because I do the portraits and then I could see them. Turn them in on Monday, see them on Tuesday, and get back, have one of the ladies to have sell. I had 3 cameras going at one time of doing this. It became a good business. But then when I went into glamour, I did it all myself. I did the picture, did the selling, did the showing, and had a good life. They'd say to when the people getting pictures made, say to the operator, "Is he married?" She'd say, ask me, and I said, tell her I'm not. Of course, I wasn't married, but I mean, wow, yeah, I always had enjoyed going back to that town. Let's say it that way.
Wow. So that was the career after the military. But you developed something, a habit you really like, a hobby, I should say, that you really enjoy doing something. What is that?
Oh, God, honey. Dancing.
Dancing.
I love to dance. I'd rather dance than eat, honest to goodness. And sometimes, right now, I had to take me one of those Thai 3s, that's an Army codeine, to help this hip some because I'm thinking about maybe doing a little dancing soon.
Ooh, I think I look forward to that. Mr. Heflin, I have enjoyed you being here with me today. Tell me, what would you tell the young people today?
All right, I'm glad you asked that question. Gosh, yes. Gosh, yes. I'd like to follow this advice. You're 18 years old, you're a senior in high school, you've graduated. What am I going to do? Let me tell you what to do. Join the military for 4 years. Give your life to the military for 4 years, but when that 4 years is over, you'll know what you want to do. And there'll be a reward waiting for you. You can get the GI Bill of Rights, you can get 4 years of college, and then you can follow that idea that you have. It don't mean you have to go back in the military, but you'll be more prepared for a good job in life, more prepared for your future. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think it's an
Fantastic.
excellent idea.
I thought it up.
great day to be in front of you.